What's up, guys? I got this 2019 Honda Accord here. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna lift up this car a little bit. So if you're doing it on the floor, put something on the front wheel so the car doesn't roll forward or back. So put a brick in the front and the back of the tire so the car does not roll. Lift up the back, and then pretty much once you have 2 bricks, what you're gonna do is lift up the vehicle. Right now we have no brakes on this. There's no brakes, so that's a good thing, okay? But if your tires are not moving, and the reason is check this out. What we're gonna do is, you have the parking brake on. Did you hear that? It go the brake. Your parking brake automatically comes on as soon as you put it to park. So you see that? So if your tires are jammed up like that, that's because your brake is parking brake. Your electrical caliper has engaged. So what you want to do is put 2 brakes in the front of the tire, one in the front and one in the back, so the car doesn't roll forward or back. So for safety, lift up your car, and all you're gonna do is put the car in accessory. Well, you're gonna have to press the brake down, just like that brake pedal. You see this red light on? Check this out. The red light is off. Let's turn off the engine accessory key. Nothing is on. The lights on auto. I'm gonna shut those off. But now your tires are free, so the caliper is released. Even if you don't want to do that, you can use the stuff I'm gonna use to disengage the caliper. You're not gonna be able to compress the caliper, so you're gonna have to use some kind of power or scan tool to disengage it. Okay, so here's our caliper here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off that little guy right there. That's the connector. So all you do with that connector is you push back on it, and this connector should come off. So I'm gonna have to do that a little bit off the camera. Remove this connector here, and you can do that later too, but we're gonna do it. I'm gonna do it first. So I got this guy out, and all you're doing is you're pushing this little guy. This is the little tab right there, and check this out. Look at the inside. See, it moves, and then you just pull backward. That's how simple it is. 2 wires. If you see a third wire, it's only 2 pins. If you see a third or fourth wire in any of the cars, if you're doing a different car, don't touch it. It probably got a sensor. So this is a simple little mechanism, and let's set up our camera right here, and we're gonna start this. Okay, so first, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna remove this guy. So all you do is you just take a flathead needle nose. Flathead or a fork like this. I like to use a fork. It helps me. And it's easy to put in. I'm going to show you how to put this guy in. After that, what you're going to do is you're going to go back here a little bit. I got my tool here. I was trying to figure out what tool it is that you're going to need. Okay, so I got a 17mm swivel here with extension and an impact gun. If you want to use a ratchet with 17mm, you could do so. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. Bang them out, and don't worry, your hub is not gonna fall out. It's not that easy to come off. So 1, they're the same length, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about mixing them up either. Oh, there goes one on the floor. So there it is. We're gonna reuse these bolts, and let me just throw them on the floor. They're all the same length. We are gonna put throttle lock on them, and that's that. So okay, now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna bang this little guy. So very simple. Each side gets a little bang. It started to move, so you can even I wouldn't put the bolts back to hit it because you will damage that bolt. So turning it this, hitting it here, turning it here won't matter. So you need to actually hit it on each side. Okay, it's pretty long bearing. So eventually it will start to come out. Okay, I see it coming out. It's a good thing. So it is kind of gonna give me a hard time, but I'm gonna try to bang more on this side here. Usually don't want to force one side out, then it will tilt out and damage the inner housing. So each side needs a good amount of banging. I'm not banging it like directly, I'm trying to force it this way and this way. Over here I don't have an opening like over here, but it is what it is. It's almost out. You will get tired, and my hand is tired. It's okay. If you got a slide hammer, that's even better. Bang, bang, it will pop right out. This thing is pretty deep. So we gotta go about it goes in about an inch. See that? It goes in about an inch. There you go. Woo. So this bearing was making a noise and it was really stiff. Bada bing, bada boom, the bearing is out. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean the crap out of this hub here. So wire brush, a buffer will do, because what you want to do here is you need that hub to sit flush, okay? You need that hub to sit really flush. So what I'm gonna do here is use anything that's possible, blade, brush, wire brush, scrap the crap out of it and get this thing to be nice and clean so the new bearing can seat nice and flush. If it doesn't seat nice and flush, what's gonna happen is you're always gonna have that brake pulsation, brake shake, because your bearing is not sitting flush. Nothing else is gonna sit flush, so everything matters. So kind of happy with this, what we did so far. And where'd my wire brush go? I need that wire brush one more time. I'm gonna have to look for that wire brush. I just tossed it. So right here, right here. And I'm gonna go get some cleaners, and then we're gonna put some greasing, and we're gonna put some thread lock and lock this baby up. Okay, so throw on this cleaner. This is just a brake cleaner. That's all this is. Parts cleaner, and give it a moment. It's gonna dissipate. So once it dries out, what you want to do is you want to take a little bit of greasing, put that around the hub, and that's it. You can put it on the hub or the housing here, hub housing, and after that we're ready to put on the hub with thread lock. Okay, so next step, we got this red thread lock, heavy duty stuff. Put that all around, and I'm gonna do that to each bolt. This is very important, okay? And you don't want this hub to come loose on you, and the whole tire, everything will just, if you're lucky, the bracket and the caliper will hold it, but you don't want that to happen anyway. Anyways, we're gonna put this bearing back on. Okay, so it's only gonna fit one way. If you get it the wrong way, it's not gonna fit. If you see the length from here to here, so just try to match up, and your bearing should just simply go on by hand, just like that. Okay, sometimes you might have to just the back end over here, you might have to just kind of like align it if it doesn't align. So just tap on it a bit, and that's it. And then you're going to take your bolts from the back end. You want to capture the threads on all four, and once we have all four, we will go through the back. Okay, so I'm going to take two more, and we will tighten up the bolts. Okay, and what I want to do is I am going to show you guys. We're going to put everything back together, so I'm going to complete the whole job. So there you have it, all four bolts. I'm going to just catch one or two threads, and then it will just compress itself in. Okay, so from back end, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make sure you do it evenly. Don't just jam all the way. And once you get these in, lock them up, okay, really good. To be honest with you, there is no right or wrong pattern. If you do this one first, this one first, this one first, this one second, just don't do 1 and 2, okay? And so I'm gonna do it lightly, and then I'm gonna torque them. And now torquing is something you're not gonna see me, but I will torque them and I will give you the specs at the end of the video. Okay, so the bearing is nice and tight. What we're gonna do next is we still gotta put the ABS sensor. That's fine, you can put that at any moment. So we got some greasing on this rotor. If you want to put some on the hub, that's fine. Line up the 2 holes. We can get 2 new screws now for the rotor and put that on. That'd be probably next time. But anyways, let's put a lug nut here so this can hold the rotor in place. So next step here is we're gonna go to the back one more time and put the bracket on. So we're pretty much done here. What we need to do is, if you want to put a little bit of greasing, I like to put an insert of this hole here. If you want to put it onto the sensor, you can do so. I'm just using it. Any grease will do. And you stick this guy in and it should go in much smoother. And that's it. Bada bing, bada boom. 10mm bolt. And I'm going to tighten this baby up. Once this is tight, you're all good to go. And then all you need to do is you need to get this one last bolt I have on the floor here that fell. This is a 12mm. This goes right here, okay, on this to this emergency brake cable, and this guy goes right here. Make sure you don't cross thread it. Tighten this, tighten that, and you're all done. And put the wheel on, go for a test drive, make sure everything is tight. Double check all your work, make sure everything is tight. On this brake pad sits in perfect. So what you want to do is, I got a little bit confused there. Anybody can get confused easily, so pay attention to that little arrow. Put a little bit of greasing. So the surface that it's gonna touch against it, that's where you want the grease at. Next step, what I like to do is put a little bit of greasing here. Same thing on that pad, on the outer edge of the brake pad. Pretty much we're done here, guys. I am gonna go get the torque specs, and I am gonna give you a torque specs. So you take this caliper, very simple, you line it. Next step, very critical. Not just this car, a lot of cars. Mechanics tend to strip these little sliding pins. If you want, put a little bit of greasing on the sliding pins, it's all up to you, but I don't think it's necessary. And what we're gonna do is, we're gonna catch the threads. We're gonna snug this guy. So if you to change the rotor, all you had to do is remove 2 more bolts and you would have been in there. So I am gonna post the torque specs at the end of the video, but right now I'm gonna snug this. And I'm gonna snug this guy. So I'm gonna torque this, and then I'm gonna let you know how much I torqued it at the end of the video. Before we finish out, I am done tightening these, so you do need to put the 2 caps on. Where is my second cap? My second cap just fell down with the brake pad. This is the second cap. Don't forget the retainer here. This is very important. So what you do is you put one side in, make sure you have this side right there, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna get the second side to sit right here, and you simply just like that, it's gonna catch a little tiny bit right there. You're gonna push the other side in, and then the whole thing is gonna go back to its spot. So what you want to do is take your old brake pad or a small light hammer, tap tap, tap tap, tap tap, bada bing, bada boom. Don't not forget the connector. Do not forget the connector. So as you can see, there's a play here. So what we're gonna do is you need to pump the brake pedal and plus make the actuator come on. We're gonna do that at the end. I still need to finish up the job on the other side, so we will continue. And now that you know how to do that, I want you to one thing I want you to do, don't just give that thing a power and let it just go zzz. You see how I tried a little bit, just get enough where it compresses all the way. You don't want to go any further. There's a belt inside or gears. whatever it got in there, you might break it, strip it, and then if you're gonna need a new actuator, you don't want to go through that. So go easy. Let's bring this car down, but I'm not gonna let it touch the floor yet because I want to show you something. Watch this. You see it's moving. We're gonna calibrate it, okay? A lot of times what I like to do is I like to put power the other way around, let it compress. When it grabs the brake, you can't spin no more. That's it. And then back it, then switch the polarity of the cables, let it back off a little bit, and that's actually where you got it. But Hondas, love them. Very simple. What we're gonna do is get in the car, close the door, put the car in accessory. Do not press the brake pedal. Okay, just accessory. Now you can press the brake pedal. You're gonna put the brake on. It's gonna do its magic. You're gonna hear noises. Oh, turn it off. On. Off. Do it 3 or 4 times. Pump your brake pedal. That's all you need to do, guys. Very simple. And now our brake is engaged. It's red. It's on. Our wheel should not be moving, neither one of them. If they are, we might have to do a little bit more calibration, but there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. Does not move. The wheel will not move. So what we're gonna do is let's disengage the brake. Okay, it won't do it without me pressing the pedal. Disengage the brake. Our wheels should move. That noise, the brake pad, once they scrape in, break in, it should go away. Bada bing, bada boom. Guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. See you in the next one.